I was reading and finished up with bards. I'm just going to start at the top of the page. Additional outline. Middle of the sentence here. For every 3 levels a bard attains beyond 9, he can target 1 additional ally with a single use of this ability, 2 at 12th level, 3 at 15th, 4 at 18th. To inspire greatness, a bard must sing, and an ally must hear him sing. The effect lasts for as long as the ally hears the bard sing, 5 rounds thereafter. A creature inspired with greatness gains 2 bonus hit dice, d10s, the commensurate number of temporary hit points, a +2 competence bonus on attack rolls, and a +1 competence bonus on fortitude saves. Yeah. Commensurate number of temporary hit points. You apply the target's constitution modifier, if any, to these bonus hit dice. And a +2 competence bonus on attack rolls, and a +1 competence bonus on fortitude saves. The bonus hit dice count as regular hit dice for determining the effect of spells that are hit dice dependent. Inspire Greatness is a mind-affecting ability. Song of Freedom is spell. A bard of 12th level or higher with 15 or more ranks in a performed skill can use music or poetics to create an effect equivalent to the break enchantment spell. Caster level equals the character's bard level. Using this ability requires 1 minute of uninterrupted concentration and music, and it functions on a single target within 30 feet. A bard cannot use Song of Freedom on himself. Inspire Heroics. Says SU. I don't know what that means. Summoning? Yeah, it could mean summoning. A bard of 15th level or higher with 18 or more ranks in a performed skill can use music or poetics to inspire tremendous heroism in himself or a single willing ally within 30 feet. For every 3 bard levels the character attains beyond 15th, he can inspire heroics in 1 additional creature. To inspire heroics, a bard must sing, and an ally must hear the bard sing for a round. A creature so inspired gains a +4 morale bonus on saving throws and a +4 dodge bonus to AC. The effect lasts for as long as the ally hears the bard sing, and for up to 5 rounds thereafter. Inspire Heroics is a mind-affecting ability. Mass Suggestion Spell. This ability functions like a suggestion above, except that a bard of 18th level or higher with 21 or more ranks in a performed skill can make the suggestion simultaneously to any number of creatures that he is already fascinated. See above. Previous page. Inspire Greatness, making a suggestion, inspire competence, inspire courage. So suggestions as a bard at 6th level or higher with 9 or more ranks in a perform skill can make a suggestion as the spell to a creature that he is already fascinated. See, present. Bardic music, counter song. Fascinate. A bard with 3 or more ranks of perform skill can use his music or poetics to cause 1 or more creatures to become fascinated with him. Each creature to be fascinated must be within 90 feet, able to see and hear the bard, and able to pay attention to him. The bard must also be able to see the creature. The distraction of a nearby combat or other dangers prevents the ability from working. For every 3 levels a bard attains beyond first, he can target 1 additional creature with a single use of this ability. But this gets updated in mass suggestion. So freedom, inspire, heroic. We're done. In fact, last was going now. Here's Bard saying mass suggestion. This ability functions like suggestion above, except that a bard of 18th level or higher with 21 or more ranks and a perform skill can make the suggestion simultaneously to any number of creatures that he has already fascinated. Mass suggestion is an enchantment, compulsion, mind-affecting, language-dependent ability. X-bards. A bard who becomes lawful in alignment cannot progress in levels as a bard, though he retains all his bard abilities. Don't become lawful. The next section. Cleric. Devotees of an ideal or a divinity, clerics have the strength of their convictions and the magical might that faith provides for them. Healers without equal, clerics of good heart can be the support that keeps a band of adventurers from succumbing to the dangers of their travels. Conversely, evil clerics can harm through the foul energies of their perverse beliefs. From dealing, one way or another, with baleful undead to their useful combat skills in arms and armor, a cleric is an excellent addition to any group. Alignment. A cleric's alignment must be within 1 step of his deities. That is, it may be 1 step away on either the lawful chaotic axis or the good evil axis, but not both. A cleric may not be neutral unless his deity's alignment is also neutral. Hit die d8. Bard. Knowledge. Special bardic knowledge check with ability. Bard level plus his intelligence. Bard hit die is d6. And the cleric is d8. Class skills. The cleric's class skills and the key ability for each skill are concentration, craft, intelligence, diplomacy, heal, knowledge, arcana, and intelligence. Knowledge, history, intelligence. Knowledge, religion, intelligence. Knowledge, the planes. Knowledge, profession, wisdom, and spellcraft intelligence. Domains and class skills. A cleric who chooses animal or plant domain adds knowledge, nature, intelligence to the cleric class skills listed above. A cleric who chooses the knowledge domain adds all knowledge, intelligence skills to the list. A cleric who chooses the travel domain adds survival to the list. Wisdom. A cleric who chooses the trickery domain adds bluff, charisma, disguise, charisma, and hide dexterity to the list. See deity, domains, and domain spells below for more information. Skill points at first level. 2 plus intelligence modifier times 4. Skill points at each additional level, 2 plus intelligence modifier. Class features. All of the following are class features of the cleric. Weapon and armor proficiency. Clerics are proficient with all simple weapons, with all types of armor, light, medium, and heavy, and with shields except tower shields. A cleric who chooses the war domain receives the weapon focus that feat related to his deity's weapon as a bonus feat. War domain receives the weapon focus feat related to his deity's weapon as a bonus feat. So the worshipper of Odin gets a spear, I suppose. He also receives the appropriate martial weapon proficiency feat as a bonus feat if the weapon falls into that category. The devotees of Odin, you definitely get spears. Aura. It says X. A cleric of a chaotic, evil, good, or lawful deity has a particularly powerful aura corresponding to the deity's alignment. See Detect Evil spell for details. Clerics who do not worship a specific deity but choose the chaotic, evil, good, or lawful domain have a similarly powerful aura of the corresponding alignment. Spells. A cleric casts divine spells, which are drawn from the cleric spell list. However, his alignment may restrict him from casting certain spells opposed to his moral or ethical beliefs. See chaotic, evil, good, and lawful spells below. A cleric must choose and prepare his spells in advance. See. To prepare or cast a spell, a cleric must have a wisdom score equal to at least 10 plus the spell level. The difficulty class for a saving throw against a cleric's spell is 10 plus the spell level plus the cleric's wisdom modifier. Like other spellcasters, a cleric can cast only a certain number of spells of each spell level per day. His base daily spell allotment is given on table 2 to 5. The cleric. In addition, he receives bonus spells per day if he has a high wisdom score. A cleric also gets 1 domain spell of each spell level he can cast, starting at first level. When a cleric prepares a spell in a domain spell slot, it must come from one of his 2 domains, deities, domains, and domain spells. Clerics meditate and pray for their spells. Each cleric must choose a time at which he must spend 1 hour each day in quiet contemplation or supplication to regain his daily allotment of spells. Time spent resting has no effect on whether a cleric can prepare spells. A cleric may prepare and cast any spell on the cleric spell list provided he can cast spells of that level, but he must choose which spells to prepare during his daily meditation. So you got your cleric character, say, and you say he wakes up in the morning and he does his 1 hour meditation where you look through all the spells and you pick out which ones you're going to use that day. Put them on your character sheet. I'd like to make cards for this. That'd be great. Deity, domains, and domain spells. A cleric's deity influences his alignment, what magic he can perform, his values, and how others see him. A cleric chooses 2 domains from those belonging to his deity. A cleric can select an alignment domain, chaos, evil, good, or law, only if his alignment matches that domain. If a cleric is not devoted to a particular deity, he still selects 2 domains to represent his spiritual inclinations and abilities. The restriction on alignment domains still applies. Each domain gives the cleric access to a domain spell at each spell level he can cast from first on up, as well as a granted power. The cleric gets the granted powers of both the domains selected. With access to 2 domain spells at a given spell, a cleric prepares one or the other each day in his domain spell slot. If a domain spell is not on the cleric spell list, a cleric can prepare it only in his domain spell slot. Spontaneous casting. A good cleric or a neutral cleric of a good deity can channel stored spell energy into healing spells that the cleric did not prepare ahead of time. The cleric can lose any prepared spell that is not a domain spell in order to cast any cure spell of the same spell or lore. A cure spell is any spell with cure in its name. An evil cleric or a neutral cleric of an evil deity cannot convert prepared spells to cure spells, but can convert them to inflict spells. An inflict spell is one with inflicted its name. A cleric who is neither good nor evil inflicted its name. A cleric who is neither good nor evil and whose deity is neither good nor evil can convert spells to either cure spells or inflict spells. Player's choice. Yeah, neutrality is cool. Once the player makes this choice, it cannot be reversed. This choice also determines whether the cleric turns or commands undead. See, convert spells to either cure spells or inflict spells. And once they make the choice, okay, yeah. Let's see. Spell list. Cleric level first, save, special turn or rebuke undead. Spells per day. 3, 4, 5, 6. Basic attack bonus. Fortitude save, ref save, will save. In addition to the stated number of spells per day for 1st through 9th level spells, a cleric gets a domain spell for each spell level starting at 1st. The +1 in the entries on this table represents that spell. 1st through 9th level spell here. Let's say +1. Oh, these. Gets a domain spell for each level starting at 1st. The +1 in the entries in this table represents that spell. Domain spells are in addition to any bonus spells a cleric may receive for having a high wisdom score. Chaotic, evil, good, and lawful spells. A cleric cannot cast spells of an alignment as opposed to his own or his deity's if he has one. Spells associated with particular alignments are indicated by the chaos, evil, good, and law descriptors in their spell descriptions. It seems to me that a cleric should have to have a deity. Anyway. Turn or rebuke undead. Any cleric, regardless of alignment, has the power to affect undead creatures by channeling the power of his fate through his holy or unholy symbol. A good cleric or a neutral cleric who worships a good deity can turn or destroy undead creatures. An evil cleric or neutral cleric who worships an evil deity instead rebukes or commands such creatures. A neutral cleric of a neutral deity must choose whether his turning ability functions as that of a good cleric or an evil cleric. Once this choice is made, it cannot be reversed. This decision also determines whether the cleric casts spontaneous cure or inflict spells. See above. Wait. Turning ability functions as a good or evil. Once a choice is made, it can't be reversed. What, like, ever? What about it after a long rest? A cleric may attempt to turn undead a number of times per day, equal to 3 plus his charisma modifier. A cleric with 5 or more ranks in knowledge, religion, gets a +2 bonus on turning checks against undead. Bonus languages. A cleric's bonus language options include Celestial, Abyssal, and Infernal, the languages of good, chaotic, evil, and lawful evil outsiders, respectively. So, Celestial, Abyssal, and Infernal. These choices are in addition to the bonus languages available to the character because of his race. Ex-clerics. A cleric who grossly violates the code of conduct required by his god loses all spells and class features, except for armor and shield proficiencies, and proficiency with simple weapons. He cannot thereafter gain levels as a cleric of that god until he atones. See atonement spell description. And that's the end of clerics. Next is my personal favorite, druids. So, get me some coffee. Oh, 3 minutes. It is here. Druid. Empowered by the forces of nature, a druid has the companionship of powerful animal protectors, the ability to bend the wilds around him to his will, and can disappear into a wilderness setting more completely than any rogue in the shadows of a dark city. While they can be out of their element in some situations, a druid is never helpless, and their mundane skills in battle allow them to remain useful, even in the heart of an urban sprawl or deep underground. Alignment: neutral good, lawful neutral, neutral chaotic neutral, or neutral evil. Neutral good, lawful neutral. Neutral. I like neutral. Neutral evil. I tried to click neutral evil on Wii. It wouldn't. It made me be an ex druid. Anyway, yeah, nice little program for that. Nice. Easy character creation apps, but at the time that I was made, Good AD&D by Gary Gygax. Hit die D8. Class skills. A druid's class skills and the key ability for each skill are concentration, craft, diplomacy, charisma. Handle animal, charisma, heal, wisdom, knowledge, nature, intelligence, healing, healing and listen, wisdom, profession, wisdom, ride, dexterity, spellcraft, intelligence, spot, wisdom, survival, wisdom, and swim, strength. I could argue whether or not swimming should be strength or dexterity, but probably should be kind of both. Skill points at first level. 4 plus intelligence modifier times 4. Skill points at each additional level. 4 plus intelligence modifier. Class features. All of the following are class features of the druid. Weapon and armor proficiency. Druids are proficient with the following weapons: club, dagger, dart, quarterstaff, scimitar, sickle, short spear, sling, and spear. They are also proficient with all natural attacks: claw, bite, and so forth, of any form they assume, with wild shape. See below. Druids are proficient with light and medium armor, but are prohibited from wearing metal armor. Thus, they may wear only padded leather or hide armor. Padded leather or hide armor. A druid may also wear wooden armor that has been altered by the ironwood spell so that it functions as though it were steel. See the ironwood spell. Druids are proficient with shield except power shield, but must use only wooden ones. That sounds cool. Table 260 druid. Base attack bonus level first plus 0, save plus 2, rep save plus 0, will save plus 2. Special animal companion, nature sense, wild. Second, woodland stride. Third, trackless step. Fourth, resist nature's lure. Fifth, wild shape, 1 a day. Sixth, wild shape, 2 a day. Seventh, wild shape, 3 a day. Eighth, wild shape, large. Ninth, venom immunity. 10th, wild shape, 4 a day. 11th, wild shape, tiny. 12th, wild shape, plant. I am Groot. Yeah, I was looking at a Pathfinder game once. I wanted to make a druid that was a vine leshy. Like Groot. I am Groot. Groot is the only character worth watching in that whole damn movie. I don't really care about Groot. The rest of the movie sucks. Groot was the only thing worth watching about it. It's like when we grew up and just fucking start grabbing shit. Okay, so wild shape tiny, wild shape plant. 13th, 1,000 faces. 14th, wild shape 5 a day. 15th, timeless body, wild shape huge. 16th, wild shape elemental 1 a day. 17th, nope. 18th, wild shape 6 a day, elemental 2 a day. 20th, wild shape elemental 3 a day, huge elemental. A druid who wears prohibited armor or carries a prohibited shield is unable to cast druid spells or use any of her supernatural or spell-like class abilities while doing so, and for 24 hours thereafter. Hopefully nobody has to march into Mordor. Spells. A druid casts divine spells, which are drawn from the druid spell list. Her alignment may restrict her from casting certain spells opposed to her moral ethical beliefs. See chaotic, evil, good, and lawful. Good, yeah, chaotic, evil, good, and lawful spells. Below. A druid must choose and prepare her spells in advance. See below. To prepare or cast a spell, and the druid must have a wisdom score equal to at least 10 plus the spell level. The difficulty class for a saving throw against a druid spell is 10 plus the spell level plus the druid's wisdom modifier. Like other spell casters, a druid can cast only a certain number of spells each spell level per day. Her base daily spell allotment is given on the table of the druid. In addition, she receives bonus spells per day if she has a high wisdom score. She does not have access to any domain spells or granted powers as a cleric does. A druid prepares and casts spells the way a cleric does, though she cannot lose a prepared spell to cast a cure spell in its place. Spells per day. First through 9th levels. First, second, third, fourth. One. Bunch of numbers. 3. First, 1. 4, 2. First, second level. Spells per day. First level, you can cast 3 0-level spells per day. And second level, you can cast 4 0 and 2 first level spells per day. First level, 1 first level spell. Okay. I'm getting what this means. But, see, spontaneous casting below. A druid may prepare and cast any spell on the druid spell list, provided that she can cast spells of that level, but she must choose which spells to prepare during her daily meditation. Spontaneous casting. A druid can channel stored spell energy into summoning spells that she hasn't prepared ahead of time. She can lose a prepared spell in order to cast any summon nature's ally spell of the same level or lower. Okay. Chaotic, evil, good, and lawful spell. A druid cannot cast spells of an alignment opposed to her own or her deities if she has one. Spells associated with particular alignments are indicated by the chaos, evil, good, and law descriptors in their spell description. Bonus languages. A druid's bonus language often includes Sylvan, the language of woodland creatures. The choice is in addition to the bonus languages available to the character because of her race. So, the language of woodland creatures. Cool. A druid also knows Druidic, a secret language known only to druids, which she learns upon becoming a first-level druid. Druidic is a free language for a druid, that is, she knows it in addition to a regular allotment of languages, and it doesn't take up a language slot. Druids are forbidden to teach this language to non-druids, and Druidic has its own alphabet. Only the Augur. Animal companion. I'll tell you what, how I would love to know how a DM would factor in Druidic. You see, the funny thing though about Druidic having alphabet, yeah, Algam is cool and pretty great. Druids of the ancient days were actually forbidden to write things down in books. They had to memorize everything they knew, and to pass down everything in like old song. But Druids and bards, man. But yeah, having its own alphabet is just like, didn't you know that Druids were forbidden from reading and writing because it was seen as like, what, can't you remember nothing? Why you gotta write it down? Language was seen as like a crutch, like writing. Written language was seen as like AI. Just written language to them was what AI is to us. It's like, what the hell? What the hell is this? It's nonsense. Moving on. Animal companion. X. A druid may begin play with an animal companion selected from the following list: badger, camel, dire rat, dog, riding dog, eagle, hawk, horse, light or heavy, owl, pony, snake, small or medium, viper, or wolf. I need to draw those onto the cards. If the campaign takes place wholly or partly in an aquatic environment, the following creatures are also available: crocodile, porpoise, medium shark, and squid. This animal is a loyal companion that accompanies the druid on her adventures as appropriate for its time. So a halfling druid with a riding dog sounds really neat. This is a great eagle druid. I've got my horse painted up. I got a pack horse painted up. That's my horse. Owl. Or snake. A first level druid's companion is completely typical for its kind except as noted below. As a druid advances in level, the animal's power increases as shown on the table. If a druid releases her companion from service, she may gain a new one by performing a ceremony requiring 24 uninterrupted hours of prayer. This ceremony can also replace an animal companion that has perished. A druid of 4th level or higher may select from alternative lists of animals. See below. Should she select an animal companion from one of these alternative lists, the creature gains abilities as if the character's druid level were lower than it actually is. Subtract the value indicated in the appropriate list header from the character's druid level and compare the result with the druid level entry on the table. We'll make little math cards that have all these numbers. I used to have this game where you inserted cards and it would tell you what the answer is. It would be like 5 times 15 and you've inserted it and it has the answer. That's 5, 25. Is it 35? Yeah, I used to have this little game. I really miss it. $75. 5 times 15 is 75. Okay, I got 35 is wrong. 75. Anyway, should have taken math more seriously before. Take math seriously, children. It's good for you. Helps you think. They want you to be bad at math. They want to trick you into being bad at math. Okay, so subtract the value indicated in the appropriate list header from the character's druid level and compare the result with the druid level entry on the table to determine the animal companion power. You see, Roll20 has like nice little interface for that, but how you could represent it with paper. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So compare the result with the druid level entry on the table to determine the animal companion's power. If this adjustment will reduce the druid's effective level to 0, lowers, you cannot have the animal as a companion. Nature sense. A druid gains a +2 bonus on knowledge, nature, and survival checks. Wild empathy. A druid can improve the attitude of an animal. This ability functions just like a diplomacy check made to improve the attitude of a person. The druid rolls a 1d20 and adds her druid level and her charisma modifier to determine the wild empathy check result. The typical domestic animal has a starting attitude of indifferent, while wild animals are usually unfriendly. To use wild empathy, the druid and the animal must be able to study each other, which means that they must be within 30 feet of one another under normal conditions. Generally, influencing an animal in this way takes 1 minute, but as with influencing people, it might take more or less time. A druid can also use this ability to influence a magical beast with an intelligence score of 1 or 2, but he takes a -4 penalty on the check. Woodland Stride. Starting at 2nd level, a druid may move through any sort of undergrowth, such as natural thorns, briars, overgrown areas, and similar terrain, at her normal speed and without taking damage or suffering any other impairment. However, thorns, briars, and overgrown areas that have been magically manipulated to impede motion still affect her. Trackless Step. Starting at 3rd level, A druid leaves no trail in natural surroundings and cannot be tracked. She may choose to leave a trail if so desired. I can imagine writing a story where a ranger's looking for a druid. It's like, good luck with that. Resist nature's lure. Starting at 4th level, a druid gains a +4 bonus on saving throws against the spell-like abilities of Fae. Cool. Wild shape. At 5th level, a druid gains the ability to turn herself into any small or medium animal and back again once per day. Her options for new forms include all creatures with the animal type. This ability functions like the polymorph spell, except as noted here. The effect lasts for 1 hour per druid level or until she changes back. Changing form to animal or back is a standard action and doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. The form chosen must be that of an animal the druid is familiar with. We've got a nice miniature of a big elk. I think it's an elk. I really like the idea. Shapeshift one into that elk. Got that one. But I also have big spiders. So those will probably come later. A druid loses her ability to speak while in animal form because she's limited to the sounds that a normal, untrained animal can make. But she can communicate normally with other animals of the same general grouping as her new form. The normal sound a wild parrot makes is a squawk. So changing into this form does not permit speech. Didn't think of parrots, but that's a good observation. Oh, ravens can speak. A druid can use this ability more times. You would think that a druid shapeshifted into a parrot or a raven like that, then be able to make speech like sound after a while if they practice, right? A druid can use this ability more times per day at 6th, 7th, 10th, 14th, and 18th level, as noted on the table. In addition, she gains the ability to take the shape of a large animal at 8th level, a tiny animal at 11th level, and a huge animal at 15th level. The new form's hit dice cannot exceed the character's druid level. At 12th level, the druid becomes able to use wild shape to change into a plant creature with the same size restrictions as for animal forms. A druid cannot use this ability to take the form of a plant that isn't a creature. Plant that isn't a creature. What, a dryad? At 16th level, a druid becomes able to use wild shape to change into a small, medium, or large elemental fire, air, earth, or water once per day. These elemental forms are in addition to her normal wild shape usage. In addition to the normal effects of wild shape, the druid gains all of the elementals' extraordinary supernatural and spell-like abilities. She also gains the elemental's feats for as long as she maintains the wild shape, but she retains her own creature type. And I used to play World of Warcraft. I played a druid and would shapeshift into black cat, kind frequently sneak around. Bear to attack. I don't like it. We had our own little druid grove place by the mountain. That's a right and good setting for this. The grove with the dryad and the satyr and the druids, and when Pepe comes to visit us. Very ordered from the perspective of Pepe, character who comes to find us. He's hungry. Been looking at memes. At 18th level, a druid becomes able to assume elemental form twice per day, and at 20th level, she can do so 3 times per day. At 20th level, a druid may use this wild shape's ability to change into a huge elemental. Venom immunity. At 9th level, a druid gains immunity to all poisons. I like that. 1,000 faces. So, at 13th level, a druid gains the ability to change her appearance at will, as if using the Alter Self spell, but only while in her normal form. Change her appearance. Like that Harry Potter. Timeless body. After attaining 15th level, a druid no longer takes ability score penalties for aging and cannot be magically aged. I'd love to know about a campaign where aging is a factor. Any penalties she may have already incurred, however, remain in place. Bonuses still accrue, and the druid still dies of old age when her time is up. Ex-druids. A druid who ceases to revere nature, changes into a prohibited alignment, teaches the druidic language to a non-druid, loses all spells and druid abilities. Now I won't be teaching the druid language to you, no. It's hard. It's all spells. Yeah, yeah, we could. In World of Warcraft, couldn't the elves and the Tauren talk to each other in druidic? Spell but including her animal companion, but not including weapon, armor, and shield proficiencies. She cannot thereafter gain levels as a druid until she atones. See atone spell. The druid's animal companion. A druid's animal companion is different from a normal animal of its kind in many ways. The companion is treated as a magical beast, not an animal for the purposes of all effects that depend on its type, though it retains an animal's HD, base attack bonus, saves, skill points, and feats. It is superior to a normal animal of its kind and has special powers as described below. Animal companion basics. Use the base statistics for a creature of the companion's kind, but make the following changes as shown below. Class level. The character's druid level. The druid's class levels stack with levels of any other classes that are entitled to an animal companion for the purpose of determining the companion's abilities and the alternative lists available to the character. What? Class level stack. Okay. What? Class stack. What? Class level, first, second, bonus, HP plus O, natural armor advantage, strength, dexterity, adjustments, bonus tricks, special links, share spells, evasion, devotion, multi-attack, improved evasion. Numbers. Bonus HP extra 8-sided D8 hit dice, each of which gains a Constitution modifier as normal. Need to come up with a little way to put that on like paper with a little number insert. Make it do math on paper. I'll go to Windows and cut out. Extra 8-sided D8 hit dice, each of which gains a Constitution modifier as normal. Remember that extra hit dice improve the animal companion's base attack and base save bonuses. An animal companion's base attack bonus is the same as that of a druid of a level equal to the animal's HD. An animal companion has good fortitude and reflex saves, treated as a character whose level equals the animal's HD. An animal companion gains additional skill points and feats for bonus HD as normal for advancing a monster's hit dice. Natural armor adjustment. The number noted here is an improvement to the animal companion's existing natural armor bonus. Strength and dexterity adjustment. Add this value to the animal companion's strength and dexterity scores. And if I pick the horse can pick you up. Bonus tricks. The value given in this column is the total number of bonus tricks that the animal knows, in addition to any that the druid might choose to teach it. If there's a snake, it will come and fight. Druid that's got a snake. Druid that's got a horse, owl. Interesting. That definitely makes Merlin. If you call him a wizard, then he's a druid. Merlin and Sword and Stone is absolutely a druid. He's got Archimedes and he shapeshifts into animals. Of course, they do it a lot, but they probably have high levels. Madam Mim. Anyway. Bonus tricks. The value given in this column is the total number of bonus tricks that the animal knows, in addition to any that the druid might choose to teach it. See the handle animal skill. These bonus tricks don't require any training time or hand animal checks, and they don't count against the normal limit of tricks known by the animal. The druid selects these bonus tricks, and once selected, they cannot be changed. Link. A druid can handle her animal companion as a free action or push it as a move action, even if she doesn't have any ranks in the handle animal skill. The druid gains a +4 circumstance bonus on all wild empathy checks and handle animal checks made regarding an animal companion. Share spells. At the druid's option, she may have any spell, but not any spell-like ability she casts upon herself also affect her animal companion. So she may have any spell she casts upon herself affect the animal, but not any spell-like ability. The animal companion must be within 5 feet of her at the time of casting to receive the benefit. If the spell or effect has a duration other than instantaneous, it stops affecting the animal companion if the companion moves farther than 5 feet away, and will not affect the animal again, even if it returns to the druid before the duration expires. Okay, cool. Additionally, the druid may cast a spell with a target of you on her animal companion as a touch range spell instead of on herself. A druid and her animal companion can share spells, even if the spells normally do not affect creatures of the companion's type. Evasion. If an animal companion is subjected to an attack that normally allows a reflex saving throw for half damage, it takes no damage if it makes a successful saving throw. Devotion. An animal companion gains a +4 morale bonus on will save effects. Multi-attack. An animal companion gains multi-attack as a bonus feat, even if it has 3 or more natural attacks and does not already have that feat. If it does not have the requisite 3 or more natural attacks, the animal companion instead gains a second attack with its primary natural weapon, albeit at a -5 penalty. Improvised evasion. When subjected to an attack that normally allows a reflex saving throw for half damage, an animal companion takes no damage if it makes a successful saving throw, and only half damage if the saving throw fails. Cool. Alternative animal companions. A druid of sufficiently high level can select your animal companion from one of the following lists, applying the indicated adjustment to the druid's level, in parentheses, for purposes of determining the companion's characteristics and special abilities. Fort level or higher. Level -3. Ape, bear, black, bison, boar, cheetah, crocodile, dire badger, dire bat, dire weasel, leopard, lizard, monitor, shark, large, snake, constrictor, snake, large viper, wolverine. That's 4th level or higher. This is 7th level or higher, level -6. Bear, brown, crocodile, giant, Deinonychus, dinosaur. Cool. Deinonychus. Okay. Dire ape, dire boar, dire wolf, dire wolverine, Elasmosaurus, dinosaur, lion, rhinoceros, snake, huge viper, and tiger. Elasmosaurus. Deinonychus. That's some Dinotopia right there. That's what I want to do. I want to do it in Dinotopia. Hell yeah. Yeah, I need to work Dinotopia into our campaign. Come up through the tunnel machine. Find your way into the caves. Come up on the surface, and there you go. It's Dinotopia. Tenth level or higher, level 9. Bear, polar, dire lion, monster dinosaur, shark, huge, snake, giant constrictor, whale, orca. I must admit that I like that one a lot. 13th level or higher, level 12. I was reading that as -12, but it might not be. It might just be a dash. Level 3, level 6, level 9, level 12, 13th level or higher. No, that meant something to have those numbers in parentheses. Anyway. Bear, elephant, octopus, giant. 16th level or higher, level 15. Or maybe it is like level -15. Dire shark, dire tiger, squid, giant, triceratops, dinosaur, tyrannosaurus, dinosaur. I swear this has got to be a Dinotopia campaign. It's gonna be great. Available only in an aquatic environment. The sharks, and the squids. Fighter. The consummate warrior fighters are trained in a variety of weapons. Oh, here we go. Here at the end of the druid stuff. So onwards to fighter. The consummate warrior fighters are trained in a variety of weapons, armor, and combat techniques unmatched by any other class of character. Yeah, I think that'd be barbarian. It said barbarians don't know how to read. I can't. It would actually apply to druids. Ba 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 ba. Fighters are the strong fighting backbone of any group, using steel and muscle to accomplish what others use spells or skills to achieve. While a fighter may not be as versatile as a rogue or as dangerous as a wizard with combat spells, he can last longer and inflict more damage with his weapons over a longer period of time, making him the perfect choice for those who just want to cleave some skulls and stand in the midst of a raging battle. Alignment: any hit die d10. Class skills: the fighter's class skills and the key ability for each skill are climb, strength, craft, intelligence, handle, animal, charisma, intimidate, charisma, jump, strength, ride, dexterity, and swim, strength. Skill points at first level: 2 plus intelligence modifier times 4. Skill points at each additional level: 2 plus intelligence modifier. Class features: all of the following are class features of the fighter. Weapon and armor proficiency: a fighter is proficient with all simple and martial weapons and with all armor, heavy, medium, and light, and shields, including tower shields. Tower shield. The fighter level: first, base attack bonus +1. Word save +2, rep save +0, will save +0, special bonus feats all the way down. Bonus feats: at first level, the fighter gets a bonus combat oriented feat, in addition to the feat that any first level character gets, and the bonus feat granted to a human character. The fighter gains an additional bonus feat at second level, and every 2 fighter levels thereafter. 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 18th, and 20th. These bonus feats must be drawn from the feats noted as fighter bonus feats. A fighter must still meet all prerequisites for a bonus feat, including ability score and base attack bonus minimums. These bonus feats are in addition to the feat that a character of any class gets from advancing levels. A fighter is not limited to the list of fighter bonus feats when choosing these feats. And that was pretty short. Monk. A devoted ascetic trained to hone his body and mind in perfect harmony, a monk is a master of the martial arts and a dangerous combatant in his own way. Monks have a number of mystical abilities that allow them to operate on their own with little need for outside support, and their wide selection of skills serve them in good stead when far away from their companions. Monks are very effective characters who can be depended on to support themselves either during battles or between them. Alignment: any lawful hit die d8. Class skills: the monk's class skills and the key ability for each skill are balance, dex, climb, strength, concentration, craft, diplomacy, charisma, escape artist, hide, jump, strength, knowledge, arcana, intelligence, knowledge, religion, intelligence, listen, move silently, dex, perform, profession, sense, motive, spot, swim, and tumble, dexterity. Skill points at first level: 4 plus intelligence modifier times 4. Skill points at each additional level: 4 plus intelligence modifier. Class features: all of the following are class features of the monk. Weapon and armor proficiency: monks are proficient with club, crossbow, light or heavy, dagger, hand axe, javelin, nunchuck, quarterstaff, sai, shuriken, shinkam, xiangjam, Sorry. Shinjam and Sing. Monks are not proficient with any armor or shields. When wearing armor, using a shield, or carrying a medium or heavy load, a monk loses, it says her, and with the feminism. Monk loses his AC bonus as well as his fast movement and flurry of blows abilities. Yeah, carry a heavy load. AC bonus. When unarmored and unencumbered, the monk adds his wisdom bonus. Let's say her. Wisdom bonus, if any, to his armor class. In addition, a monk gains a +1 bonus to AC at 5th level. This bonus increases by 1 for every 5 monk levels thereafter, +2 at 10th, +3 at 15th, and +4 at 20th level. These bonuses to AC apply even against touch attacks or when the monk is flat-footed. He loses these bonuses when he is immobilized or helpless, when he wears any armor, when he carries a shield, or when he carries a medium or heavy load. It did say she. That's enough of this feminism. Flurry of blows. When unarmored, a monk may strike with a flurry of blows at the expense of accuracy. When doing so, she may make 1 extra attack in a round at her highest base attack bonus. But this attack takes a -2 penalty, as does each other attack made that round. The resulting modified base attack bonuses are shown in the Flurry of Blows attack bonus column on table the monk. This penalty applies for 1 round, so it also affects attacks of opportunity the monk might make before her next action. When a monk receives 5th level, the penalty lessens to -1, and at 9th level it disappears. A monk must use a full attack action to strike with a flurry of blows. When using flurry of blows, a monk may attack only with unarmed strikes or with special monk weapons, kama, nunchaku, quarterstaff, sai, shuriken, and shingam. She may attack with unarmed strikes and special monk weapons interchangeably as desired. When using weapons as a part of a flurry of blows, a monk applies her strength bonus, not strength bonus times 1.5 or times half, to her damage rolls for all successful attacks. Whether she wields a weapon in one or both hands. The monk cannot use any weapon other than a special monk weapon as part of a flurry of blows. In the case of the quarterstaff, each end counts as a separate weapon for the purpose of using the flurry of blows ability. Even though the quarterstaff requires 2 hands to use, a monk may still intersperse unarmed strikes with the quarterstaff strikes, assuming that she has enough attacks in her flurry of blows routine to do so. When a monk reaches 11th level, her flurry of blows ability improves. In addition to the standard single extra attack she gets from flurry of blows, she gets a second extra attack at her full base attack bonus. Unarmed strike. At first level, a monk gains improved unarmed strike as a bonus feat. A monk's attacks may be with either fist interchangeably or even from elbows, knees, and feet. This means that a monk may even make unarmed strikes with her hands full. There is no such thing as an offhand attack for a monk striking unarmed. A monk may thus apply her full strength bonus on damage rolls for all her unarmed strikes. Neato. Usually a monk's unarmed strikes deal lethal damage, but she can choose to deal non-lethal damage instead with no penalty on her attack roll. She has the same choice to deal lethal or non-lethal damage while grappling. A monk's unarmed strike is treated both as a manufactured weapon and a natural weapon for the purpose of spells and effects that enhance or improve either manufactured weapons or natural weapons. A monk also deals more damage with her unarmed strikes than a normal person would, as shown on table 2-8 the monk. The unarmed damage on table 2-8 the monk is for medium monks. A small monk deals less damage than the amount given there with her unarmed attacks. So Hobbit monk is fucking funny. But also should have differentiation for males and females, but feminism. As shown on table 2-8 the monk, the unarmed damage on table 2-8 the monk is for medium monks. A small monk deals less damage than the amount given there with her unarmed attacks, while a large monk deals more damage. See table 2-9. Small or large monk unarmed damage. Bonus feat. At first level, a monk may select either improvised grapple or stunning fist as a bonus feat. At second level, she may select either combat reflexes or deflect arrows as a bonus feat. At 6th level, she may select either improved disarm or improved trip as a bonus feat. A monk need not have any of the prerequisites normally required for these feats to select them. Evasion. At 2nd level or higher, if a monk makes a successful reflex saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage, on a successful save, she instead takes no damage. Evasion can be used only if a monk is wearing light armor or no armor. A helpless monk does not gain the benefit of evasion. Fast movement. At 3rd level, a monk gains an enhancement bonus to her speed, as shown on the table. Bonus feat flurry blows, unarmed strike, bonus feat evasion, still mind, key strike, magic, slow fall 20 feet, purity of body, bonus feat, slow fall 30 feet, coldness of body, slow fall 40 feet, improved evasion, key strike, lawful, slow fall 50 feet, diamond body, greater flurry. 12th, abundant step, slow fall 60 feet. 13th, diamond soul. 14th, slow fall 70 feet. 15th, quivering palm. 16th, key strike, adamantine, slow fall 80 feet. 17th, timeless body, tongue of the sun and moon. 18th, slow fall 90 feet. 19th, empty body. 20th, perfect self, slow fall any distance. The key strike was 4th level. Anyway, slow fall 20 feet. So fast movement. At third level, a monk gains an enhancement bonus to their speed, as shown on table. Monk in armor or carrying a medium or heavy load loses this extra speed. Still minded. A monk of third level or higher gains a +2 bonus on saving throws against spells and effects from the School of Enchantment. Key strikes. At fourth level, a monk's unarmed strikes are empowered with ki. Enough of this feminism. His unarmed attacks are treated as magic. His unarmed attacks are treated as magic weapons for the purpose of dealing magic to creatures with damage reduction. Key strike improves with the enchanters. The characters. Key strike improves with the character's monk level. At 10th level, her unarmed attacks are also treated as lawful weapons for the purpose of dealing damage to creatures with damage reduction. At 16th level, his unarmed attacks are treated as adamantine weapons for the purpose of dealing damage to creatures with damage reduction and bypassing hardness. Flurry of blows, attack bonus 2, unarmed damage 1d6, AC bonus, unarmed speed bonuses. Level first, and then down here 20, 15, 2d10 plus 4 plus 60 feet. Small or large monk unarmed damage level. First to third, 1d4 for a small monk, 1d8 for a large monk. 20th, 2d8 for a small monk, and 4d8 for a large monk. And all of those other. At the end of this, ex-monks and paladins. We're calling it a paladin. Slow fall. At fourth level or higher, a monk within arm's reach of a wall can use it to slow her descent. When first using this ability, she takes damage as if the fall was 20 feet shorter than it actually is. The monk's ability to slow her fall, that is, to reduce the effective distance of the fall when next to a wall, improves with her monk level. Until at 20th level, she can use a nearby wall to slow her descent and fall any distance without harm. Purity of body. At 5th level, a monk gains immunity to all diseases except for supernatural and magical diseases. Wholeness of bodies. At 7th level or higher, a monk can heal her own wounds. She can heal a number of hit points of damage equal to twice her current monk level each day. She can spread this healing out among several uses. Improvised evasion. At 9th level, a monk's evasion ability improves. She still takes no damage on successful reflex saving throw against attacks, but henceforth she takes only half damage on a failed save. A helpless monk does not gain the benefit of improved evasion. Diamond body. At 11th level, a monk gains immunity to poisons of all kinds. Abundant step. At 12th level or higher, a monk can slip magically between spaces as if using the spell Dimension Door once per day. His caster level for this effect is 1/2 his monk level, rounded down. Diamond Soul. At 13th level, a monk gains spell resistance equal to his current monk level plus 10. In order to affect the monk with a spellcaster must get a result on a caster level check, 1d20 plus caster level that equals or exceeds the monk's spell resistance. Quivering Palm. Starting at 15th level, a monk can set up vibrations within the body of another creature that can thereafter be fatal if the monk so desires. She can use this quivering palm attack once a week. And she must announce her intent before making her attack roll. Constructs, oozes, plants, undead, incorporeal creatures, and creatures immune to critical hits cannot be affected. Otherwise, if the monk strikes successfully and the target takes damage from the blow, the quivering palm attack succeeds. Thereafter, the monk can try to slay the victim at any later time, as long as the attempt is made within a number of days equal to her monk level. To make such an attempt, the monk merely wills the target to die, a free action, and unless the target makes a fortitude saving throw, DC 10 plus half the monk level, plus the monk's wisdom modifier, it dies. Saving throw is successful. The target is no longer in danger from that particular quivering palm attack, but it may still be affected by another one at a later time. Timeless Body Act. Upon attaining 17th level, a monk no longer takes penalties to her ability scores for aging and cannot be magically aged. Timeless Bodies at 15th. Okay. 17th. Okay. Yeah. Any such penalties that she has already taken, however, remain in place. Bonuses still accrue, and the monk still dies of old age when her time is up. Tongue of the Sun and Moon. A monk of 17th level or higher can speak with any living creature. Nice. Empty bodies. At 19th level, a monk gains the ability to assume an ethereal state for one round per monk level per day, as though using the spell Etherealness. She may go ethereal in a number of different occasions during any single day, as long as the total number of rounds spent in an ethereal state does not exceed her monk level. Perfect. So, at 20th level, a monk becomes a magical creature. She is forevermore treated as an outsider rather than as a humanoid, or whatever the monk's creature type was. The monk becomes a magical creature. For the purpose of spells and magical effects. Additionally, the monk gains damage reduction 10 magic 10 per magic, which allows her to ignore the first 10 points of damage from any attack made by a non-magical weapon or by any natural attack made by a creature that doesn't have similar damage reduction. Unlike other outsiders, the monk can still be brought back from the dead as if she were a member of her previous creature type. Interesting. Ex-monks. A monk who becomes unlawful or non-lawful cannot gain new levels as a monk but retains all monk abilities. Like a member of any other class, a monk may be a multi-class character, but multi-class monks face a special restriction. A monk who gains a new class, or if already multi-class, raises another class by level, may never again raise her monk level. Though she retains all her monk abilities. Paladin. War is a virtue. Paladins are the best of their order and trained in the military arts for the sole purpose of exemplifying all that their religion holds dear. SS. A paladin can heal with a touch, remove diseases from the afflicted with the power of his faith, turn undead with his aura of holiness, and eventually learn to channel his devotion into priestly magic of his own. A paladin must walk a fine line, and if his behavior ever wavers from the set doctrines of his church, he may lose his abilities forever. Alignment, lawful good, hit die, d10. Class skills. The paladin's class skills and the key ability for each skill are concentration, craft, diplomacy, handle animal, heal, knowledge, nobility, and royalty, knowledge, profession, ride, and sense motive. Skill points at first level, 2 plus intelligence modifier times 4. Skill points at each additional level, 2 plus the intelligence modifier. Class features. All of the following are class features of the paladin. Weapon and armor proficiency. Paladins are proficient with all simple and martial weapons, with all types of armor, heavy, medium, and light, and with shields, except tower shields. No, apparently that's just a fighter thing. Aura of good. Next, the power of a paladin's aura of good, see, detect good spell, is equal to her paladin level. Why does it say her all of a sudden? Detect evil spell. At will, a paladin can use detect evil as a spell. Smite evil. Once per day, a paladin may attempt to smite evil with one normal melee attack. It's back to calling it she. Over here at the beginning it said he. Oh yeah. Paladin may attempt to smite evil with one normal melee attack. He adds his charisma bonus, if any, to his attack roll and deals 1 extra point of damage per paladin level. If the paladin accidentally smites a creature that is not evil, the smite has no effect, but the ability is still used up for that day. Interesting. At 5th level and at every 5 levels thereafter, the paladin may smite evil 1 additional time per day, as indicated on table of the paladin, to a maximum of 5 times per day at 20th level. Divine Grace. At 2nd level, a paladin gains a bonus equal to, says her. Paladin gains a bonus equal to his charisma bonus, if any, on all saving throws. Lay on hands. Beginning at 2nd level, a paladin with a charisma score of 12 or higher can deal wounds, says her, his own or those of others, by touch. Each day, he can heal a total number of hit points of damage equal to his paladin level times his charisma bonus. A paladin may choose to divide his healing among multiple recipients, and he doesn't have to use it all at once. Using lay on hands is a standard action. Lay on hands is folk medicine too. The traitor and the witch doctor. Alternatively, a paladin can use any or all of this healing power to deal damage to undead creatures. Maybe a witch doctor character would be cool, man. God, it looks scary. Paladin can use any or all of this healing power to deal damage to undead creatures. Using lay on hands in this way requires a successful melee touch attack and doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. The Paladin decides how many of his daily allotment of points to use as damage after successfully touching an undead creature. How many daily allotment points? Aura of Courage. Beginning at 3rd level, a Paladin is immune to fear, magical or otherwise. Each ally within 10 feet of his gains a +4 morale bonus on saving throws against fear effects. Him. Each ally within 10 feet of it says her. Him gains a +4 morale bonus on saving throws against fear effects. +4. This ability functions while the Paladin is conscious, but not if he is unconscious or dead. Divine Health. At 3rd level, a Paladin gains immunity to all diseases, including supernatural and magical diseases. Turn Undead. When a Paladin reaches the 4th level, he gains the supernatural ability to turn undead. He may use this ability a number of times per day, equal to 3 plus his Charisma modifier. He turns undead as a Cleric of 3 levels lower would. Level. First base attack bonus +1, fort save +2, reflex save +0, will save. Special Aura of Good, detect evil, smite evil once a day. Divine. The 2nd, Divine Grace, lay on hands. 3rd, Aura of Courage, Divine Help. 4th, turn undead. 5th, smite evil twice a day. Special Mount. 6th, remove disease 1 week. 9th, remove disease 2 weeks. 10th, smite evil 3 times a day. 12th, remove disease 3 times a week. 15th, remove disease 4 times a week, smite evil 4 times a day. 18th, remove disease 5 times a week. 20th, smite evil 5 times a day. Spells. Beginning at 4th level, a Paladin gains the ability to cast a small number of divine spells, which are drawn from the Paladin spell list. A Paladin must choose and prepare his spells in advance. To prepare or cast a spell, a Paladin must have a Wisdom score equal to at least 10 plus the spell level. The difficulty class for a saving throw against a Paladin's spell is 10 plus the spell level plus the Paladin's Wisdom modifier. Saving throw. 10 plus spell level plus Wisdom. Like other spellcasters, a Paladin can cast only a certain number of spells of each spell level per day. His base daily spell allotment is given on table to Paladin. In addition, he receives bonus spells per day if he has a high Wisdom score. When table the Paladin indicates that the Paladin gets 0 spells per day of a given spell level, he gains only the bonus spells he would be entitled to based on his Wisdom score for that spell level. The Paladin does not have access to any domain spells or granted powers as a cleric does. A Paladin prepares and casts spells the way a cleric does, though he cannot. Alternatively, a paladin can use any or all of his healing power to deal damage to undead creatures. Using lay on hands in this way requires a successful melee touch attack and doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. The paladin decides how many of his daily allotment of points to use damage after successfully touching an undead creature. Aura of Courage. Beginning at 3rd level, a paladin is immune to fear, magical or otherwise. Each ally within 10 feet of him gains a +4 morale bonus to on saving throws against fear effects. This ability functions while the paladin is conscious, but not if he is unconscious or dead. Divine Health. At 3rd level, a paladin gains immunity to all diseases, including supernatural and magical diseases. Turn Undead. When a paladin reaches 4th level, he gains the supernatural ability to turn undead. He may use this ability a number of times per day equal to 3 plus his charisma modifier. It turns undead as a cleric of 3 levels lower would. Spells. Beginning at 4th level, a paladin gains the ability to cast a small number of divine spells, which are drawn from the paladin spell list. A paladin must choose and prepare his spells in advance. To prepare or cast a spell, a paladin must have a wisdom score equal to at least 10 plus the spell level. The difficulty class for a saving throw against a paladin spell is 10 plus the spell level plus the paladin's wisdom modifier. Like other spellcasters, a paladin can cast only a certain number of spells if each spell level per day. Her base daily spell allotment is given on table of the paladin. In addition, he receives bonus spells per day if he has a high wisdom score. When table the paladin indicates that the paladin gets 0 spells per day of a given spell level, he gains only the bonus spells he would be entitled to based on his wisdom score for that spell level. The paladin does not have access to any domain spells or granted powers, as a cleric does. A paladin prepares and casts spells the way a cleric does, though he cannot lose a prepared spell to spontaneously cast a cure spell in its place. A paladin may prepare and cast any spell on the paladin's spell list, provided that he can cast spells of that level, but he must choose which spells to prepare during his daily meditation. Through 3rd level, a paladin has no caster level. At 4th level and higher, his caster level is 1/2 his paladin level. Special Mount. Upon reaching 5th level, a paladin gains the service of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed to serve him in his crusade against evil. This mount is usually a heavy war horse for a medium paladin or a war pony for a small paladin. Once per day, as a full round action, a paladin may magically call his mount from the celestial realms in which it resides. The mount immediately appears adjacent to the paladin and remains for 2 hours per paladin level. It may be dismissed at any time as a free action. The mount is the same creature each time it is summoned, though the paladin may release a particular mount from service. Each time the mount is called, it appears in full health, regardless of any damage it may have taken previously. The mount also appears wearing or carrying any gear it had when it was last dismissed. Calling a mount is a conjuration effect. calling. Should the paladin's mount die, it immediately disappears, leaving behind any equipment it was carrying. The paladin may not summon another mount for 30 days or until he gains a paladin level, whichever comes first, even if the mount is somehow returned from the dead. Leaving behind any equipment it was carrying, the paladin may not summon another mount for 30 days. The mount is somehow returned from the dead. During this 30-day period, the paladin takes a -1 penalty on attack and weapon damage rolls. Don't let your mount get killed. Remove disease. At 6th level, a paladin can produce a remove disease effect as the spell once per week. He can use this ability one additional time per week for every 3 levels after 6th, twice per week at night, 3 times at 12th, and so forth. At 6th level, can produce a remove disease effect as the spell once per week. Code of conduct. A paladin must be of lawful good alignment and loses all class abilities if he ever willingly commits an evil act. Additionally, a paladin's code requires that he respect legitimate authority, act with honorable, not lying, not cheating, not using poison, and so forth. Act with honorable. It's missing a word. Help those in need, provided they do not use the help for evil or chaotic ends, and punish those who harm or threaten innocence. You have to really commit to writing a setting for that. Associates. While he may mature with characters of any good or neutral alignment, a paladin will never knowingly associate with evil characters, nor will he continue in association with someone who consistently offends his moral code. A paladin may accept only henchmen, followers, or cohorts who are lawfully good. Ex-paladins. Table down here. The paladin level bonus AP, natural armor adjustment, strength adjustment, intelligence special, empathic link, improved evasion, share spells, share saving throws, 8th through 10th, improved speed, 11th through 14th, command creatures of its kind, 15th to 20th, spell resistance. Ex-paladin. The paladin who ceases to be lawful good, who willfully commits an evil act, or who grossly violates the code of conduct, loses all paladin spells and abilities, including the service of the paladin's mount, but not weapon, armor, and shield proficiencies. He may not progress any farther in levels as a paladin. He regains his abilities and advancement potential if he atones for his violations. See the atonement spell description as appropriate. Like a member of any other class, a paladin may be a multi-class character, but multi-class paladins face a special restriction. A paladin who gains a level in any class other than paladin may never again raise his paladin level, though he retains all his paladin abilities. So, and people are trying to be a multi-class monk and paladin. The paladin's mount. The paladin's mount is superior to a normal mount of his kind and has special powers, as described below. The standard mount for a medium paladin is a heavy warhorse, and the standard mount for a small paladin is a war pony. Another kind of mount, such as a riding dog for a halfling paladin, or a large shark for a paladin in an aquatic campaign, may be allowed as well. A paladin's mount is treated as a magical beast, not an animal, for the purpose of all effects that depend on its type, although it retains an animal's HD, base attack bonus, save, skill points, and feats. Paladin's Mount Basics. Use the base statistics for a creature of the mount's kind, but make changes to take into account the attributes and characteristics summarized on the table and described below. Bonus HD. Extra 8-sided D8 hit dice, each of which gains a Constitution modifier as normal. Extra hit dice improve the mount's base attack and base save bonuses. A special mount's base attack bonus is equal to that of a cleric of a level equal to the mount's HD. A mount has good fortitude and reflex saves, treated as a character whose level equals the animal's HD. The mount gains additional skill points for feats for bonus HD as normal for advancing a monster's hit dice. Mount has good fortitude and reflex saves. Okay. Additional skill points of feats for bonus HD as normal for advancing a monster's hit dice. Talon level bonus AC, natural armor, special. Basic link, improved speed, command creatures of its kind, spell resistance. So that's the mount. Alright, cool. Natural armor adjustment. The number on the table is an improvement to the mount's existing natural armor bonus. Strength adjustment. Add this figure to the mount's strength score. In mount's intelligence score. Empathic link. The paladin has an empathic link with his mount out to a distance of up to 1 mile. The paladin cannot see through the mount's eyes, but they can communicate empathically. Note that even intelligent mounts see the world differently from humans, so misunderstandings are always possible. Because of this empathic link, the paladin has the same connection to an item or place that their mount does, just as with a master and his familiars. Same connection to an item or place that the mount does. Improved evasion. When subjected to an attack that normally allows a reflex saving throw for half damage, a mount takes no damage if it makes a successful saving throw, and half damage if the saving throw fails. Share spells. At the paladin's option, he may have any spell, but not any spell-like ability he casts on himself also affect his mount. The mount must be within 5 feet at the time of casting to receive the benefit. Shush. Paladin's mount superior, blah, blah. Treated as a magical based on their own purpose and effect, depending on its type. Their change in abilities. Base type on saves with Paladin mount basics. Use the base statistics for a creature of the mount kind, but make changes to take into account the attributes and characteristics summarized on the table and described below. Bonus HP. Extra 8-sided D8 hit dice, each of which gains a constitution modifier as normal. Extra hit dice improve the mount's base attack and base save bonuses. A special mount's base attack bonus is equal to that of a cleric of a level equal to the mount's HP. A mount has good fortitude and reflex saves, treated as a character whose level equals the animal's HD. The mount gains additional skill points or feats for bonus HD as normal for attacking monsters. Hit dice. Normal armor. Natural armor. Natural armor. The number on the table is an improvement to the mount's existing natural armor bonus. Natural armor is plus 4 from 5th to 7th level, plus 6 from 8th to 10th, plus 8 from 11 to 14, and plus 10 from 15 to 20. Strength adjustment. Add the figure to the mount's strength score. Plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Intelligence. The mount's intelligence score. Empathic link. The paladin has an empathic link with his mount out to a distance of up to 1 mile. The paladin cannot see through the mount's eyes, but they can communicate empathically. Note that even intelligent mounts see the world differently from humans, so misunderstandings are always possible. Because of this empathic link, the paladin has the same connection to an item or place that his mount does, just as with the master and its familiar. See familiars. Improved evasion. When subjected to an attack that normally allows a reflex saving throw for half damage, a mount takes no damage if it makes a successful saving throw, and half damage if the saving throw fails. Share a spell. At the paladin's option, he may have any spell, but not any spell-like ability it casts on himself also affect his mount. The mount must be within 5 feet at the time of casting to receive the benefit. If the spell or effect has a duration other than instantaneous, it stops affecting the mount if it moves farther than 5 feet away, and will not affect the mount again even if it returns to the paladin before the duration expires. Additionally, the paladin may cast a spell with a target of you on his mount as a touch range spell instead of on himself. A paladin and his mount can share spells even if the spells normally do not affect creatures of the mount's type. Magical beast. Share saving throws. For each of its saving throws, the mount uses its own base save bonus, or the paladin's, whichever is higher. The mount applies its own ability modifiers to save, and it does not share any other bonuses on saves that the master might have. Improved speed. The mount's speed increases by 10 feet. Commands. Once per day, per 2 paladin levels of its master, a mount can use this ability to command any normal animal of approximately the same kind as itself. For war horses and war ponies, this category includes donkeys, mules, and ponies. As long as the target creature has fewer hit dice than the mount, this ability functions like the command spell, but the mount must make a DC 21 concentration check to succeed if it's being ridden at the time. If the check fails, the ability does not work that time. but it still counts against the mouse daily use. Each target may attempt a will save, DC 10 plus 1/2 Paladin's level plus Paladin's charisma modifier, to negate the effect. What? Each target may attempt a will save to negate the effect of a command against spell resistance. A mount's spell resistance equals its master paladin level plus 5. To affect the mount with a spell, a spellcaster must get a result on a caster level check. 1d20 plus caster level that equals or exceeds the mount's spell resistance. And that's it for Paladin. Now we're on the Ranger. Ranger. A Ranger is a special kind of warrior, one trained to function in the natural world and fight in harmony with it. A Ranger in his element can be a devastating foe, capable of blending in with nature long enough to strike with impunity and commanding wild beasts to harass and maul his enemies. Rangers are woodland warriors, not soldiers, and marauders of the seven seas. Wherever there is a ranger, there are devoted animals and a wealth of natural tricks and magic waiting to undo the unwary. Alignment any. Hit die D8. Cliff notes. Class skill. The ranger's class skills and the key ability for each skill are climb, strength, concentration, constitution, craft, handle animal, heal, hide, jump, knowledge, dungeoneering, knowledge geography, knowledge nature, listen, move silently, profession, wisdom, ride, dexterity, search, spot, survival, swim, and use rope. I rewrote that a little bit more. Okay. Rogue is after Ranger. Sorcerer, Wizard, Familiar, Multi-class, saving throws, epic characters advancing beyond 20th level. As the level features level multi-class characters. Saving throws, advancing level. Epic save bar, epic attack bonus, epic feature, epic barbarian, epic cleric, epic druid, hit die D8. Skills in the D20 game on page 78. Alright. We're going to pick this up. Talking more about Rangers. On reading the Mongoose Pocket Player's Handbook. Check out this Masters of the Wild. Cool. Nice. Sniper. Prestige classes. Okay. Oh, man. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll get to this one at some point. Ranger. And then we did Barbarian Druids. We'll finish Ranger in that book and we can look at this one a little bit more. But until next time, I need more.